As many of you know, the UK held a snap election this year in June. The Labour Party and the Conservative Party, the two main British political parties, fought tooth and nail to win votes given the short time frame. The head of Labour, Jeremy Corbyn, decided to use this opportunity to attract the younger generation, more particularly those who are lumbered with student debt from their university years. In an interview with NME magazine, when asked about student debt, Corbyn stated that he would deal with it. The Labour Party also pledged to abolish tuition fees if they won the election. Now, while he didn't make any promises, the expression, "I'll deal with it," certainly led many young people to believe that they would be debt-free under a Labour government. In fact, in this snap election, 62% of under 25-year-olds voted for Labour. So you can imagine their disappointment when, following the election, Corbyn stated that he had not made a commitment to write off their debt, merely to try and reduce it. Today, therefore, I would like to speak to you about tuition fees and why I believe that education should be free. As a Scottish student, where tuition fees for undergraduate degrees are paid for by the government, I feel very strongly about this issue. Firstly, I will give you an overview of tuition fees in Europe and the United States for full-time undergraduate degrees. In England, tuition fees are now capped at £9,250 per year. Wales have similar fees, while Northern Irish fees are significantly less, and Scotland has free tuition for Scottish and EU students, not students from other parts of the UK. In the European Union, 7 countries charge between €1,000 and €5,000, while other countries charge under €1,000 per academic year, with many countries having no tuition fees. In the United States, tuition fees range from $9,000 to $24,000 per year, depending on if students are studying in their own state or another state in the country. Therefore, England and the US represent countries with high tuition fees for students and, in turn, high student debt. I would like to now explain where the money collected from these tuition fees is spent, in the UK at least, in order to understand why students are asked to pay such high fees. According to the company Which, a consumers association in the UK, tuition fees cover 6 areas: lectures, seminars and tutorials, access to the university library, access to computer facilities, university support services, membership of a students' union, and administrative tasks. While all of these elements must of course be paid for, in countries like France, they are funded by the government. Yet, in parts of the UK and the US, students are expected to pay for these themselves. I believe this to be completely unfair, and this leads on to my next point, why I believe education should be free. There are many reasons for this, the first one being that education benefits everyone in society. Having well-educated graduates means that they will, in turn, contribute more to the economy and help make smarter decisions. This will have a positive impact on society. I consider education as a public investment. It's an investment which can only have a high return. Another reason supporting free education is that it will improve equality. The current tuition fees mean that many people coming from poorer backgrounds cannot afford university or do not want to finish a 3 or 4 year degree with thousands of pounds of debt. Free education will lead to equality for all and equality of opportunities. Education should be accessible to everybody, regardless of their social or financial background. In addition to these reasons, in the UK, 70% of graduates are expected never to finish paying back their loan, as they will make repayments for several years before the remaining debt is written off. This shows that we have a broken system. It just does not work. Furthermore, being riddled with debt makes it harder for graduates to get on the property ladder, which also affects the economy. Now, this is all my personal opinion. However, I'm certainly not the only person who feels this way. In fact, at the beginning of this year, UK students decided to boycott the National Student Survey. This is a survey which all UK students are asked to complete in their final year of university, and the government use it as a basis for increasing tuition fees, depending on how high the ratings are for each university. The boycott just demonstrates the strong feelings that students have against the increase of tuition fees. To conclude, I believe that education is a right, not a privilege. Everybody should have access to free education. Many countries already offer this to young people, but other countries like the US and parts of the UK need to realise that the advantages of offering free education far outweigh the disadvantages. Thank you very much.